We're rocking and flocking each and every day here on the Ravens Rundown, but we want you to be part of what we're doing on the channel. And subscribe now for the latest Baltimore Ravens news and rumors as we close in on 7,000 subscribers, less than 40 away. We need your help to get there. Subscribe to the channel now, youtube.com/RavensTV, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. On today's show, we will discuss Josh Ross's unlikely rise to the 53-man roster. Also, an injury update on Tyler Linderbaum and a look at the 53-man roster that is set to be released tomorrow for your Baltimore Ravens. We begin with Josh Ross. What a story Josh Ross is. An undrafted rookie out of Michigan, third-team All-Big Ten performer in 2021, and now is on the verge of shocking the world and making the Ravens roster. An incredible story, and what he's done for the Baltimore Ravens in the preseason has been nothing short of spectacular. You go to the performance he had against Tennessee. The numbers, according to Pro Football Focus, show that he put together a 91.5 defensive grade, 90.3 in coverage. Against Arizona, he followed that one up with a very good night as well, with a 91.6 defensive grade and 88.7 coverage grade. Washington, not as good as what we saw those first two games, with a 66.6 defensive grade and a 37.5 coverage grade. Overall, he was one of the best defensive players that we saw from the Ravens the entire preseason, with an 88 defensive grade and a 67.6 coverage grade. Outstanding effort from Josh Ross over the last few weeks, and we'll talk about where he fits in with this scheme for the Ravens in just one moment. But before we do, Ravens Rundown feels that Josh Ross will make the 53-man roster based on the numbers that we've looked at and what we've told you about Josh Ross. But do you agree with what Ravens Rundown believes? Let us know in the comments section. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it and get your votes in. Y for yes, in for no, if Josh Ross will make the 53-man roster for your Baltimore Ravens. So this is what Mike McDonald had to say about Josh Ross, as McDonald was paired with Josh Ross at the University of Michigan, defensive coordinator there last year, came over to the Baltimore Ravens and brought in Josh Ross. Also, David Ajabo, the second-round pick, was also from Michigan. As you can see, this Baltimore Ravens team has taken on a lot of Michigan men this offseason. And McDonald on Ross said, Josh is just a great human being. He's mature, serious in the right way, thoughtful, very energetic, attacks everything that he goes about. He's a true Michigan man and also a Raven. Ross, as we mentioned, undrafted rookie out of Michigan and a third-team All-Big Ten performer. Last year in his senior season at Michigan, his super senior season, that is, after getting the fifth year of eligibility with the COVID year, had 106 tackles and 9 tackles for loss last year with Michigan. And as you can see, here is the Ravens depth chart with Bowser on the PUP list. You can see that Ross slides right in, that he'll be competing for playing time right among the best of the Ravens linebackers and edge rushers. And what a story he is, from the performance that he's put together over the last few weeks in the preseason to now being on the verge of making this 53-man roster. That's what they make movies about, folks, is those underdog stories, and Josh Ross is just that. Today's show is presented by BetUS, and BetUS is offering a great deal just for Ravens Rundown viewers, where if you put $100 down, they're going to give you $125 to spend for free. It's a 125% deposit bonus available now at chatsports.com/bet when you use the promo code chat125. College football getting started this week. I love college football. And I got to tell you, the bet that I'm putting my money on this week is the Notre Dame-Ohio State game coming up on Saturday night. Notre Dame is 17.5-point dog. Don't think they're winning that game. Ohio State is lethal. But I do think Notre Dame can keep it at least within 17.5. I don't think that's asking too much from the Fighting Irish. That's the bet I got this week. Place your bets now, college football, NFL, everything in between at chatsports.com/bet. Chat125 is the promo code for that 125% deposit bonus. That's chatsports.com/bet. Tyler Linderbaum had a really good performance in the final preseason game for the Ravens. Played just 9 snaps, but all signs indicate that he's fully ready to go to move forward after the lisfranc injury that he suffered in training camp. And that was an injury that resurfaced that he dealt with in college. And Linderbaum spoke about the injury situation and said that he is going to be 100% before the opener against the New York Jets. Here's Linderbaum on his injury status saying, yeah, it's awesome to get my first kind of real-life game experience here. It was awesome, a dream come true, and I'm excited for more games to come. Yeah, I think it's very important. Obviously, we got a tough matchup against the New York Jets. He might be a little kind there on that one, on the road. So I think it's kind of important to get those game reps in. Kind of get those first game jitters all the way was important. It was similar to the college injury. Lucky enough, it wasn't as bad as the one in college. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been out here playing. No, I have no doubt about it that I'm going to be full 100% come week 1. We have a great training staff and doctors here to get me ready. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So that was Tyler Linderbaum on his injury status. He feels like he's good to go. Now, in the limited time that he played against the Washington Commanders, numbers, not bad, according to PFF. Pass block grade, 74.2. Run block grade of 59.2. And the offensive grade of 60.9. And I highly encourage you folks, go to my Twitter feed at Tyler Jones Live, and I shared my guy, Brian Baldinger's Baldy breakdown of Tyler Linderbaum, and you can just see the physical specimen that Tyler Linderbaum is, as his fundamentals were just so good. Beyond just anything that you can see with the numbers and the statistics from PFF, Tyler Linderbaum looks like he's years ahead of where he should be as a rookie. Go look at that. Let Baldy explain it. I highly recommend. Linderbaum, Remington Trophy winner in 2021, a unanimous first-team All-American, and he was the second draft choice of the Ravens in the first round. After they chose Kyle Hamilton with that first pick, Linderbaum selected 25th overall in the first round out of Iowa. And he feels 100%, but knowing that he's had the lisfranc injury back to college, it still makes you think a bit. A little hesitation, right? You tell me, what's your level of concern with Tyler Linderbaum's health? Whether it's the lisfranc coming back up again or another injury of some sorts, where's your level of concern? It's your chance to weigh in. Let me know in the comment section. Type 1 through 10. Let me know where your level of concern is for Tyler Linderbaum's health going forward. We're covering all the latest injury news and happenings with your favorite team, the Baltimore Ravens, right here on the Ravens Rundown each and every day. The latest news, rumors, trades, free agency, and more right here on the channel. Subscribe now, youtube.com/RavensTV. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment and find out the latest news with your Baltimore Ravens right here on the channel. Last thing, the Ravens roster about to cut down to 53 for tomorrow's deadline. That will occur at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 o'clock out west. And we haven't really gotten many leads yet on what the Ravens roster will ultimately shape out as far as the cuts at this point. They're kind of, I would guess everything's going to get done on Tuesday at this point in time. There was one cut made so far. That was Cameron Dicker, but that was expected. He was just given the job to help relieve some of the special teamers in the preseason game. He's gone, but the majority of the cuts will come prior to this deadline on Tuesday. Here is what Kyle P. Barber from Baltimore Beatdown had to say about the situation of the roster cuts that are coming. He said, many are expecting to see multiple veterans be cut with handshake deals in place to return. After outside linebacker David Ojabo and tight end Charlie Kolar are placed on injured reserve, expectations are defensive lineman Brett Urban and safety Tony Jefferson at outside linebacker Stephen Means may be the veterans cut and re-signed. So some backdoor deals of sorts being worked where guys could be cut initially but then end up back on when these pup deals come into place, pup deals and injured reserve. So still more to come on that roster front as we get the details tomorrow. So, your chance to be the tough critic now. Name a player the Ravens will cut. Who should they move on from of this Ravens roster? Let me know in the comments section. Your chance to be the GM. Name me one player the Ravens will move on from when that roster gets cut tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. As always, you can follow me on Twitter as well as the Instagram at Tyler Jones Live. Love talking about the Ravens as well as the rest of the National Football League there. And we will see you next time tomorrow with the latest from the Ravens roster right here on the Ravens Rundown.